In that tier, my good friend, belongs the light bow gun. Now, light bow gun is not actually F tier. It's D tier. And here's why. Light bow gun to me is hunting horn, but like safer. So you don't get the cool of hunting horn, but you do get the benefits. You get like some of the benefits. So you don't get the funny smack with bagpipe, but you get the thing. I would love for a light bowgun player to come to me and say, "You're garbage. This is terrible opinion. This weapon rocks." I want to know why. I want it to be explained to me, and they should explain to me. Charge blade. Absolutely A or S tier. It is simply, I'm going to put it in A, but I can very easily change my mind to S. I played Charge Blade. I have played Charge Blade a lot. Charge Blade is really fun. It has incredible versatility and high damage output. A, yeah, she's with me on that one. And Charge Blade deserves everything. I love the guard point mechanic. This is World, by the way. Wild is not real. And if anybody tells you Wild is real, they're wrong and they're a liar. I think that it deserves more weapons. Gunlance S? Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. But I really, really like Charge Blade. Now, Cheese, my lovely friend here, has suggested that Gunlance belongs in S tier. Cheese is going in C. Here's why Gunlance goes in C. Everything you can do with Gunlance. Gunlance is the middle ground to me between Charge Blade and Lance. Personally. Now, C's a little rude. Frankly, it's probably actually a B tier. But as someone who played a lot of Lance, Gunlance feels like... But the Wyvern shot's really cool. You know what? B tier. For you. It can block Nurg, give bomb. It can block the Nurg, dive bomb. I've been doing a lot of Nurg content hunting. He knows me well. Alright. Fine. It'll be in B. And you'll be happy about it. Sword and Shield, A tier. It's a fun weapon. I think it's got a roll. Actually, B tier. Below Gunlance. I know if Joe Cat finds this, somehow he will. I'm fucked. But that's a problem for future me. I think the weapon is cool. I think it's not flashy enough as a Monster Hunter weapon. It is a sword and shield. I think that if I am looking at all these weapons, why would I pick that? I'm going to save a couple of these guys for the end. Lance. Another A tier. Below Charge Blade. It's a fun weapon. But it's a fun weapon to use, but still B. Yes, no, I very much agree. I think that the opportunity for using your entire clip without putting your weapon away is really cool and slept on, and that should be awarded, especially as somebody who plays a lot of Lance, and that takes approximately 3 years. But the downside is that it's just it kind of is like dual blades. It's just better dual blades, but we'll get to that. You know what? We'll just put it out there now. Well, no, I got to finish Lance. Lance is really cool. I think it's one of the funnier weapons because it feels like a death with 1,000 cuts even more than Insect Glaive and Dual Blades are, because most of the time you're not really dealing out that much damage, more that you are just poking the monster repeatedly. It's an incredibly fun weapon to use if you're willing to tank for the team, which you should be willing to, because, you know. Heavy Bowgun. I'm doing that. I'm changing my mind. Heavy Bowgun is... No, fuck it. You go right there where you belong. Heavy Bowgun, to me, is a weapon that does not know what it wants to be. You can customize it to do all these different things. And I know there's the, like, sniper shot, and there's the minigun shot, and whatever. It's a lot of yapping to me. I think that Monster Hunter is a game where you want to hunt monsters. And to me, this weapon is kind of against that. You're kind of at a distance. You're never really up close and personal, at least in my understanding. It just feels like you're kind of in the back seat. I also would say it's really slow. And while Lance can get Dual Blades D, you know. And while Lance can get away with being super slow because it is a fucking tank and also has some mobility options with the charge, Heavy Bowgun is boring and does not get as cool defensive options. Dual Blades is an F. I'm actually going to bump these two immediately out of D. I forgot how much I hate Dual Blades. This is the button mash option. While it can pull off some dual blades, brother, it's dull balls. All right, these things are really fast. They eat up stamina like no other, and they have like one flashy move, and that's about it. I find them annoying to use. They give you a ton of dodge opportunity, so you're kind of playing it very safe. But doesn't have the finesse of certain weapons we'll get to later. Bow. I think bow is the most middle weapon of all of them. I see D's because they do destroy monsters. All these weapons destroy monsters to a certain extent. My reasoning for F is, how do I feel when using the weapon? And I don't like it. I don't like it. Bow is middle of the line. Bow is absolutely middle of the line. Because bow, I would say, feels more natural than our bowgun friends. And the Dragon Piercer on Kulov Taroth is, if you haven't heard it, equip a random bow and just pull off one Dragon Piercer on next time Kulov Taroth is around. And your dopamine levels will increase. But otherwise, bow, I feel like, is kind of a gimmick, somewhat. It uses a ton of stamina to deal a lot more damage than the bow brothers, the bowgun brothers. I would still say it's the best range weapon in the game. Still not that great. Longsword. Now, longsword is really strong in World. Too strong, actually. But also, I don't like using it. So I'm just going to put in C for the absolute opposite reason of bow. I would say longsword is both an A and a D tier. Or an A and an F tier, for me, personally. It's an A tier because it looks really cool. It's got some really cool equip moves. I like the counter ability. I like the counter that feels punishing if you mess it up. But on the same hand, playing with a longsword is really annoying because they'll hit you and interrupt you. And as a greatsword, that sucks. Spoiler alert, greatsword's going up there. I think that it is this is not an objective tier list, because if it was an objective tier list, then this guy goes up here. This is how I feel. And that's why dual blades are down there, where they fucking belong. Hammer's tier B. Now, Godly Cheese, you have said both your mains are in C, but what you forget is I've played a lot of Hammer, and Hammer goes in A. Hammer goes in A for one move, and it's the spin one that you do off a slide. I forget its name. I'm scared to Google things while streaming. So, well, this is on stream. Here, actually, you know what? We'll do this. Pull that over there. Now you can't see it. I don't think. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Yes, you can't see it. All right. Hammer, spin, move, monster world. Can I get like a GIF of it? No. No GIFs for me. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. I've clipped it before. I've shown Godly Cheese how to do it. It's really, really fun. Outside of that, it's just a really strong weapon that is one of the only blunt weapons in the game, and that's really valuable. I say some of the downsides are, which are not even necessarily negatives, just reasons that I don't like using it as much, are its lack of range, obviously, which is kind of the point, but it becomes kind of annoying, especially as somebody who also has played a lot of Switch Axe. Now, I'm actually going to move Charge Blade down here and put Switch Axe above Hammer. Switch Axe is what I would recall the actual good button smash weapon. Yeah, it's really good. Not even in like a... It is really good It's really good. It's fun to use. It deals a ton of damage. It's got a lot of variability and variety in options. I would say it's one of the most dopamine, adrenaline-filled... It's one of those weapons where the more momentum you have, the more momentum you'll get. You will slaughter monsters if you know what you're doing. It is really fun. And now the final three. I'm saving Hunting Horn for last. Greatsword is an S. I have played 900 hunts with Greatsword. I've played Greatsword since Monster Hunter 4. Greatsword is the GOAT. No question about it. The block is somewhat useful, although it's kind of meh, but it's just nice to have. But the main thing we're all here for is those sweet quadruple digit damage numbers. No other weapon on this list, to my knowledge, is going to deal 1,000 damage in one strike. This guy can do that. A lot. Greatsword's the GOAT. We love Greatsword. Other GOAT, Insect Glaive. These two jump around for me. I will say probably Greatsword better, but only barely. Insect Glaive, not counting wilds, because that doesn't exist. You vault around the monster. I love the concept of a weapon that has an insect that also uses an insect style of buzzing around the monster and just constantly dealing damage. You'll also get the advantage of dealing damage to areas that other hunters can't hit, like the back or the wings, which often weapons like hammer, greatsword, and sometimes even these guys towards the bottom have trouble hitting. So that's super useful. I think walls should be on this list dealing... I think the walls? Oh, are you talking about tenderize? What are you talking about, cheese? I'm gonna let him cook. Last but not least, Hunting Horn. Top of A. I can't play it for shit, but it's really funny, and it's really nice to have, and my dogs even agree. They're barking. They love Hunting Horn. They're Hunting Horns themselves. I don't swing my dogs. I love them very much. I would never do that. But Hunting Horn is really fun because you get that blunt damage. You're really slow, but when you run them into a wall and they get knocked over, yeah, toppling. Toppling is not on this list. Toppling would go in S tier. So would Tenderize. Clutch Claw as a whole goes in S tier. But I would definitely say that Hunting Horn is probably the best weapon on this list that I suck the most at. I am terrible at Hunting Horn. I'm awful. I just get hit and I never get started and I just am not interested. But I have seen good Hunting Horns. I've seen great Hunting Horns play and they absolutely rock the floor with it. And that is my tier list. And frankly, will probably change in a week, and I'll move everything down more because frankly, too much is in A. Probably Lance goes to B. This is my definitive tier list. You suck at the Lances? Lances are hard. Lances are tough. They're not the easiest thing to do. This is my proper tier list. And there you go. And now I'm going to close this, but first I'm going to swap so that I'm going to close this. There we go. Now it hides. Oh, wait, no, it's hiding on OBS. No, come back. Where'd you go? What the fuck? There's my actual OBS. Oh, that's so weird. Here, we're going to delete this for a moment. Can I open my alt tab now? The hell? Oh, there you are. Who's hiding from me? Probably should take a screenshot. He was hiding. Absolute goober behavior. Well, regardless. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that enjoyable? No more of that. We're back to the grind. We return. Don't you worry. She was worried. Don't you worry. We're gonna get back to pain right quick. All right. This is hunt number 5, I believe, for Nergigante. Investigation. Yeah. We're gonna ignore that one for now because it doesn't have a silver. We gotta save it unless we run out. Soon you should do a monster tier list. Let me see. Hold on a second. World. Monster Hunter World Monster tier list. So I just don't want to see. I don't want to see Iceborne. I want just normal. No, that includes Iceborne. This includes Iceborne. You know what I'll do? I will... That's weapons. You want to crank out some content, brother? Because we're going to crank out some content. This person's being very strange. Okay, let's crank out some content, brother. Let's crank out some content. Not display. No. Window counter. Okay. Okay. We're gonna capture this one. Alright. Spoilers for Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I think this is all of them. This seems like too few. But I think this is all of them. No, this is missing something. This is missing people, I think. Hold on. Gotta look through to find the right one. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? See, this one has different ones. Oh, what the fuck? I gotta find one with all the Monster Hunter tiers. I'm terrified to Google stuff on stream. I can't spell, I get it. Monster Hunter World Monster Tier List. Okay, we're gonna click on this. Hopefully not get banned. Okay. Ice all man. No, that's not it. Base game and Iceborne large monsters. Is there here? Simple tell. There's Black Diablos, Dodogama. To have everything. Pookie Pookie. Actually, I can. How many monsters? How many large monsters are there in Monster Hunter World? AI, save me. 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. I already forgot what the first number was. This seems like. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull up a second tab, and I'm gonna include 71. That's like double. I'm just not gonna hold on. Monster Hunter World Monster List. Give me every monster. Look at all these spoilers. These are in, I want in the order of the game. Not in the order of the... This person is a tier list. Hold on, I'll just commit crime. Let's see here. They didn't show their tier list. Absolute stolen. I was trying to steal from them. But they stole from me! Alright. Better way to do this. In order. Okay. We're gonna create another tier. Dodogama! Wait, I did not see this. That's so funny. I am glad we have a fellow Dodogama enjoyer. A, B, C, D, F. Iceborne / have not fought. That's not what I wanted. Oh my god, this is terrible. There we go. Okay, I don't know what this is. Let's find Great Jaggers first. Where's Great Jag? Great Jaggerus. Then it's Kuliyaku. Where the fuck are you, Kulu? It's gonna be all... Oh, this is gonna enrage people. There you are. Then Pookie. Get over here. Then Bareth. Where is he? After this is Gyro. He's coming up in a second. Bareth. No, that's Uragon. Bareth. Gyro. And then Toby. And then Anjanath. See Angie. Where's Toby? Toby. Toby Kadachi. There you... No, that's Kieran. Toby Kadachi. Uh-oh. We might be missing Toby. Got my face right against the screen. Toby Kadachi? Do you see it, Cheese? Am I just blind? 5th row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no! And this is why we keep you around, Cheese. Cheese, you're the goat. You know everything. You know all the things I would never know. Alright, Anjanath, then Rathian. Then Yaku. Where? There's Yaku. Palumu. Oh, I'm so excited to throw in fucking garbage tier. Great Gyros. Yep, Radabon. I always think those two are in the opposite order. Legiana. I saw... This is not Legiana. That's like a different Legiana I haven't fought yet. Odegaron. Never miss him. Rathalos. I think we're going to the big 4. Yeah, Diabolos, who's right in the center. Oh yeah, Kieran is next, I guess. Also another monster. Spoiler alert, gonna get thrown in the garbage. Where she fucking belongs. Kieran. There you are. I was like, I know I saw you before. Zoro. Then Dodogama. Spoiler alert, he's gonna get a good tier. Pink Rathian. There. Basil. That's a special Basil. I can start... I don't know why I haven't started taking out things I know I haven't fought. Like this. And whatever this is. Whatever this is. Whatever this is. And whatever this is. Yeah, I should probably just go through and eliminate things I haven't seen. I don't know what that is. I know what the Ancient Legend is. I haven't fought it yet. So, we'll go over there. I know I haven't fought it now. I don't know what that is. I know that. I don't know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. Or you. Or you. Or you. Or that one. Or that one. Or that. I know you. Or you. Or that. Or that. Or that. Or that. I do know these guys. I don't know what this is. Looks like a bigger form of that. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what this is. I mean, that looks like another Pookie, but or not Pookie, Paluma, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. This looks like a bigger Nergigante. Still don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. That is a bigger Double Joe. Don't know what this is. Sure is a lot. Don't know what that is. Don't know what you are. You. That's. Wait, no, I do know you. You or you. There we go. That'll make things a lot easier. Alright, Lavasioff is after Basil. Yes. Where's Lavasioff? There you are. Then it's really going to be Uragon. Yep. Then Azure Rathalos, Black Diablos. Oh, things are just falling into the order. Nergigante, Teostra, Kushala Deborah, Valhasic, Xenojiva, and then we'll just do these three chuckle fucks after. Okay. Time to get a going. Alright, here we go. Time to tier... I gotta get my fucking thing. I forgot. I gotta get the... Alright. now we're cooking. Okay. We're gonna tier list all of these goobers. Here we go. Just get 2 tier lists in a row. Alright. Starting with the OG. The boy. Great Jagras. This guy goes in A tier. And here's why. He is a cutie, and he is a great introduction to the game. Because he shows off the mechanics of, like, dynamic monster movesets, right? He gets bigger as he eats and gets smaller as he uses, like, up those moves. And he also is a very low to the ground monster, so people are actually very likely to accidentally get a mount. So I actually really like him. On the contrast, this bitch is going to represent D tier for the rest of the stream. Kuliaku is a chicken who digs up eggs, and he is just an annoyance. He's loud, he's annoying, he runs away. He's got, frankly, too much health for the weapons you have when you first fight him. And I don't like it. He upsets me greatly. And I don't like that. He upsets me. I should probably put in presentation mode. There you go. I don't like him. He upsets me. Where did... Oh my god, my order got fucking randomized. God damn it. Alright. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. There we are. Alright, here we go. Next is Pookie. I know that one. Oh my god, that's so funny. Alright, next is Pookie. I love Pookie. I think it is another great example of environmental hazards being involved with the monster directly. The monster he will eat the actual, he'll eat like scatter nuts, he'll eat rocks, he'll drink from the poison cups, and if you destroy them in advance, he's a lot easier to fight. So he rewards players for starting to realize that the environment has a huge effect in this game. Anjanath is the first test, and for that, Anjanath will always have my respect. I think Anjanath is the first actual hard monster on the list, and that being said, she's not that tough. But she's the first real tricky monster out of all these guys. And then they followed up... Oh wait, Barris first. Whatever. I'm ranking it this way now. So, Barith also goes in A. He makes train noises. I like trains. I think it's funny. It's very simple. He makes train noises. I like the mud mechanic. I don't like it that much, as we're about to see with Gyros, but I think he does it well. He's the first example of like how blunt weapons can be very important. I really like Barith. I also think his design, he's bestie. And for that, he gets to stay. Gyros is the most C tier monster there is. Gyros is a fish with legs. Whatever you're imagining is probably pretty accurate to the fight because it's pretty nothing. He's a tough mount, and he spits. He's the first water blight. Might be the only, unless I'm forgetting. It's probably somebody else, but he's not that important. He's just an introduction like water, and that's just not that fun. I don't get why people like Gyro. I'm gonna pronounce so many things wrong. Just be ready for that. Kind of mid. I mean, very mid. It doesn't do anything particularly memorable. Pretty easy. Doesn't make train noises like Bareth. Next is Tobi Kadachi. This little shit is going in C tier. Actually, no, it's going in B tier. What am I doing? Where are you? There you are. No, D tier. I've changed my mind. It is annoying. It yells a lot. It runs a lot. It's very fast. It stuns, which is, spoiler alert, I don't like stunning monsters. And I don't feel like it's a challenge in a way where the game, it feels very rewarding for. Even my dogs don't like him. He's also squirrel, which makes bow and other ranged weapons way more valuable, which I do like. That's why he's not in F. F is for monsters who truly had no positive qualities. We will definitely have some. I already did Anjanath. Rathian. Rathian is our first F tier. Rathian is a big dragon. Wow. As stereotypical as it can get. The poison mechanic's interesting. No, I'm saving it to D. Just solely because if you cut off the tail, poison is removed from the monster's kill moveset, and I like that. I think that's cool. She doesn't do too many walkies, which is where the monster walks back and forth over your body. She gets to live. Because I feel like it. But you're on thin ice, Rathian. Who's next? Yaku. Yaku is a homie and goes in A tier. Let me get my actual tier list. Where is it? Yeah, he is. Yaku, I'm moving Great Dragons to B. All the things I said are true. It's just he's less of an A tier. I'm actually also moving Bareth down to B. They're not as impressive as Yaku. You might be like, what? Yaku? Impressive. Yaku is not actually that impressive. And I'm not going to actually be keeping him in A. He feels like he deserves A. He is much more of a B tier. But here's why Yaku is not in the garbage can where he might belong for you. The stun mechanic's annoying. There's no doubt about it. But it's also very fair most of the time, with some exceptions. But the only reason Yaku is above C tier is because when you're fighting Legiana or Palumu, he'll walk by, stun them, and leave. Or stun them again. And that is a godsend against flying monsters. Not to mention he does that against other monsters. If you fight Devil Joe in there, he'll stun him. Or he'll try. And it's great. And for that reason alone, he's a homie. And homies do not go below B tier. And that is the goddamn truth. Speaking of homies, you like Yaku? Yeah, I think Yaku has a lot of charm compared to... I'm assuming you're referring to Titsuyaku and not Kuliyaku, because Kuliyaku is stupid. And if you disagree, fair enough. I'd love to hear your reasoning. But Kuliyaku to me is just a bird that digs up eggs, or digs up, he also eats babies. I mean, that's not cool. Only I'm allowed to do that. So, the next monster is, I just saw them, brain, click please, activate, Palumu. Our first F tier! Woo! This guy makes me want to throw myself off a bridge. He is the first what I would recall a proper flying monster. Rathian comes on the ground a lot. Palumu will spend plenty of time in the air. Palumu has the stupid waffle tail that I want to sever and never can. And I do not feel like the penalties for breaking its face are strong enough. And because of that, it's also ugly as hell. I'm not going to Google this with this tab, but Monster Hunter Palumu. I want to get an image of it so everybody can see just how disgusting this thing is. I mean, fucking yuck. Yuck. What the... Please? Pretty please? No. Yeah, look at him! No, he doesn't. Too low res, but that's okay. Ugly bat looking motherfucker. Very not fun to fight against unless you are a ranged weapon user. Even as somebody who plays Insect Glaive, not a big fan. Also, he stuns a lot. Again, stunning monsters, not gonna do well in my books. Great Gyros. I feel bad. Great Gyros has like a mob mechanic where it like calls on allies. But like most of the time it doesn't do much. And like its paralysis abilities feel pretty fun. And like breaking the fangs to lessen said paralysis abilities is like a cool mechanic, but like it feels like a Great Jagras, but halfway through the game. It's like they gave you another Great Jagras. Like, okay, I guess. It doesn't really do anything distinct. Radabon. Radabon, for me, is a great example of how to do a monster well that's still kind of annoying. Radabon, that's why he's going smack in the middle. Radabon, I like the bone-breaking mechanics. I like that he's a Beyblade. Actually, purely because of the Beyblade. That's really cool. I like it a lot. I like that you can force him to Beyblade less because you break off his armor. I like that. I like his bones. He can regenerate them. I think that's cool. I also think it's cool that it can be interrupted. I think overall he's a very fun monster to fight. Still not as good as Anjanath because Anjanath has such a presence during the first few monster hunts because you are terrified of the fucking T-Rex. Radabon, not so much. Legiana. My friends hate Legiana because they don't like fighting it most of the time. I kind of agree. But I still am going to give Legiana at least B tier. I mean, the design is gorgeous. Ice Blight is interesting enough, but not terrible enough to hate. It's really the design. Its arena and its design are very interesting. Combat-wise, it is such a nothing burger that it can't go higher than B. B is pretty generous. In fact, I would honestly say between Great Jagras and her, Great Jagras is more interesting because of the stomach filling mechanic. Legiana to me, and I'd love to hear what other people think, but Legiana to me is nothing but bird. And I don't like one-note monsters. On the complete opposite spectrum, Odogaron is going in A. If not, bottom A, top of B. Because Odogaron is I think the first introduction of this class of monster I call like an onslaught. You have it somewhat with Anjanath, but Odogaron is a constant attacker that if you can survive the onslaught, you win. And that is such an interesting dynamic compared to most of the other monsters where it is a dance between them. Odogaron will out DPS you when you're fighting him at the correct, you're not bringing in the god armor. And I think that it's really, really interesting to see how this monster interacts with its environment as it jumps through. It jumps through holes. It picks its targets, and it also will engage and then dip as soon as it feels threatened. I like him. Downside: bleeding is a boring mechanic. You just have to crouch. I mean, that's not fun. Although I do like that it forces you to hide. I am kind of a fan of that. So I'm going to put him in A. I might move him down to B if I feel like it. Oh boy. Rathalos. Now, I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 12 years. He's a red dragon. I should love him, right? No. Rathalos is boring. First, we've already seen Rathian. I don't care about Rathalos. And spoiler alert for Iceborne, I think there's like 2 more Rathaloses. I only need 1. I don't even need 2, and we already have 2 in base world. We're about to get 2 more. Still haven't played Iceborne yet. Second thing. It removes Rathian's cool poison... No, I'm moving Rathian back down. It removes Rathian's cool poison mechanic, where you cut off the tail, it loses its poison ability. Instead, its talons can poison still. That's stupid. You've taken a good thing, you've made it worse. Second, it spends a lot of more of its time in the air. Now, this is good because it avoids the walkie move where it walks back and forth and just stuns you because you can't react, but it doesn't change the fact that it's not an interesting design. It's annoying to fight because it always calls on Rathian to save it. And worst of all, there's 4 of them. So he belongs in F tier, where he will sit there and he will think about what he's done. Diabolos. Diabolos used to be one of my favorite monsters. Used to be. Diabolos is in D tier. Top of D tier, for sure, but D tier. Because of invincibility frames. When it is underground and you're just trying to get the hunt done, it is annoying. It is an interesting mechanic the first few 100 hunts. But I am at the point where it is just annoying. In addition, its charge mechanic where you try to like get into a rock is stupid. I thought there was like 3 Rathalos, 2 Rathian. There's way too many, is the point. Diabolos is, all things considered, supposed to be one of the coolest monsters in this game. He kills Bareth, but not cool on my part. He constantly digs. I love burrowers. Purple Worm is one of my favorite D&D, is not one of my favorite, is my favorite D&D monster, but this is burrow in a way that I don't like, where they can hide and completely negate damage. I've missed many a true charge slash because Diabolos just went a little too early into the ground. That being said, good sever, good armor. No, actually, I know the single reason he's going to stay out of C. He is classified as a flying wyvern. Bullshit. That is a brute wyvern. Just because it has wings does not make it a flying wyvern. Fuck that. That is wrong. Oh boy. Worst monster in the game. Just going to get out and say it. It's Kieran. No doubt about it. Not even taking a second to consider it. It's Kieran. Kieran is a all elemental type monster. So very little damage dealt by actual like kicking, or, you know, it has one move, which is, or it kicks you behind. But that's about it. Kieran is a monster who is very punishing to exist. If you're standing near Kieran, it will shock you with lightning instantaneously, and there'll be nothing you can do. If you are standing away from Kieran, it will hit you with instant lightning, and there'll be nothing you can do. If you are on top of Kieran, it will shock itself with lightning, and it'll hit you, and do nothing. I think the only reason why Kieran is not going to be the actual worst, there's one monster who's going to be worse than Kieran, is because of because of the pinwheel attack that it does, where it like hits you. It's the Risk of Rain 2 final boss fight. Hits you with like all those those like areas of effect. This is the first monster to do anything like that. Might be the only one. I really like it, where it sets up the attack, you have a chance to dodge, it's very clearly set, feels very fair there. Otherwise, this monster's hitboxes are terrible. It'll randomly hit you with lightning, it's unreactable. Garbage monster otherwise. Zora Magdaros. Zora Magdaros is cool, objectively. But, unfortunately, he ends up in C tier because of his fights. They take a long time, and while they give you a good excuse to use the cannon, they're pretty epic. Actually going to put him in the top of B. Yeah, that's fine. He kind of lacks any direct presence that certain other monsters will come up to later. In addition, it just takes a long time. And the fact that you need so many parts from him, it takes a long time. So, Zora Magdaros, B tier. Just the way it is. Good for money farming, though. The best monster in the game, objectively, is not Dodogama. However, look at the little guy in the corner. Do you think I don't like him? Do you think I dislike Dodogama? Because I clearly do not. Dodogama vomits rocks at you. That's funny. He rolls over on the ground. That's funny. I think, objectively, Dodogama is probably one of the cutest monsters, as well as a very, very interesting introduction to the Elder's Recess, because he feels like he obviously is meant to mirror Great Jagras, but he is significantly stronger And that, and also introduces you to Blast Blight, which is very annoying to deal with, but I feel like it's pretty fair with him. Dodogama, one of my favorite guys. You might notice a theme between the S tier monsters. For now, that'll change soon. Pink Rathian. Wow, it's Rathian, but worse. Whoa, that's so cool. Also F tier. I don't like the recolored monsters. I think they're boring. She has like one new move where she spins around. Whatever, man. It's just Pink Rathian, you know? Whatever. I could not care less. I'm actually going to put Rathalos above them, though, because he spends less time doing the walk move where he walks forward and backwards, just stuns you. Basil Juice. Absolute fucking F tier. I love this guy at the start, and then you actually fight him, and you learn that he's a little bitch who runs away, and also he spends 90% of the time in the air, and there's nothing you can fucking do. He's way too slow to fight. You have to take things super carefully. He's got way too much damage. But worst of all, you will not be hunting him, and he will show up and just fucking ruin your hunt. You'll be hunting like an Odogaron, and he'll just fly in and pipe bomb or drop his explosive missiles and then leave. And he's a piece of shit for that. And for that, he's an F tier. Although I actually put him at the top of F tier because I still like his design. I like that he's a bomber plane. I think that's funny. And that's cool. Okay. Next is, I already lost, Lavasioth. This is a D tier monster. Why? Invincibility frames. Same thing as Diablos. Lavasioth actually is probably the worst of D tier. A lot of iframes when he's under or jumping. It's not fun to fight. It's just waiting. It's just waiting and dodging pretty easy to dodge attacks until he decides to hit you. That's about it. It's pretty boring. Uragon, way too much fucking health. Also, it's just Radabon but worse. He goes in the bottom of D tier right next to his brother Lavasioth. I don't like the fire and sleep mechanic is cool, but otherwise it's pretty meh. I think overall he's kind of a whatever burger. You know, he's kind of a nothing burger. Whatever burger. That's not words. Azure Rathalos. Wow, I wonder where he's going to end up. Moving on. Black Diablos. Oh my god, it's Diablos, except it's worse. Right fucking there. If you want to know why it's worse, Black Diablos not only specifically has more time underground, but also will go underground, move, and then come out of the ground, and then go underground again. And it's like, okay, I guess it's just dodging with no counterattack options. Very boring monster, covered in armor head to toe, not a fan. Nergigante. Despite doing almost 20 hunts, and him being really boring, to fight 20 times, he's too fucking cool. Unfortunately, he looks sick, his armor's sick, his weapon's sick, his regenerating armor mechanic is really cool. During his actual fight, I was referring to hunter armor when I said his armor's sick. I love the two spines on the front. He's got an excellent theme. Unfortunately, despite getting terrible tiny luck with him, tiny crown hunt luck, he is kind of the GOAT, and he deserves to be up there. Teostra! On counterpoint, why would I give a shit about Teostra? Teostra to me, do I want to move any of these guys to C tier? Maybe Yaku. Toby will be saved. Teostra is the nothing burger of the three Elder Dragons you get after fighting Nergigante. I think it's after Nergigante. Teostra is kind of weird. It's like a chimera, but mostly lion. I don't like the particle effects, are kind of hard to see. I like the mechanic that if you kill the tail, he has a hard time brushing away the sparks that blow up. But he's kind of neutered by Fire Mantle. If you get Fire Mantle, he's kind of nothing. His design's pretty meh. He's just not very much for an Elder Dragon. For that, I'm actually going to put him in the top of D tier. Actually, the bottom of D tier. The worst part about it is he's just boring. He's not interesting to me. Kushala Daora. Worst monster in the game. Actually, worst monster in the game. Here is why. Kushala Daora has tornadoes. And those tornadoes, even if you run Windproof Mantle, or not Windproof Mantle, because that's not a thing. But even if you run Windproof level 5, you will, undoubtedly, still get caught up in a tornado. He also stalls a lot by just sitting in tornadoes. What are you going to do about that? The bow and light bow gun get knocked out of there. So does heavy bow. They can't shoot through there. So he just stalls, flies, and then waits until you are, God forbid you're playing the game, and then hits you. It's very boring. Shaldaor is the worst. His design makes no fucking sense. He's a metallic wind dragon. That I love to know if that's a reference to something, but otherwise, I don't get it. He's just the worst of the three. On the other hand, Valhasic is going right underneath Nergigante. Valhasic is an undead spewing this toxic gas that kills you. That should sound annoying to fight. It's not. I don't find him annoying to fight. I think personally his design of having a double mouth kind of look like an anglerfish. I think it's super fucking cool. He's got this awesome thing where he'll kind of bait you out by breathing in a bunch of effluvium a bunch of times, and then eventually he'll fully breathe it. He also fake dies or fakes falls over, but he's actually just charging up. I think he's way more interesting than way more interesting than Teostra. Much more fun to fight than Daora. Second best Elder Dragon. Best is still Nergigante. Nergigante just has too much presence, while Hussic's theme is not as good as him. But the conclusion of these three is Xeno'jiiva. Now, Xeno'jiiva is a very intimidating, very cool looking monster. I love the crystalline appearance. Going in B right next to Zormair, guys. Here's why. It takes a long time. It's a very slow fight. Not very fun. It's got a lot of hit points. It's just kind of a waiting game. It's just hit until it falls over. So, going right next to Zoro in the I'm good, but take a long time department. Speaking of taking a long time, Klav Taroth, right in F tier. I have done multiple Klav Taroth hunts. I don't find her very interesting, except for the first time. I was shocked when she removed her armor. Spoiler alert: she gets real fast, but she's also very annoying to actually fight. It takes way too long. Rewards aren't that great. She introduced like a ton of copies of the weapons. It's purely those all. She has a ton of negatives and not very many positives. Devil Joe is who we're gonna end on. I have not fought Lustrada that much. I'm gonna put her right next to Teostra. I'll keep you posted if that changes. For now, she goes right there. Devil Joe. The Pickle Rick. Right where he belongs. He's massive. He's just better Anjanath. He throws a rock at you. He's got a meaty tail to cut off. And I think he does Dragon Blight in a way that is interesting, that does not feel too scammy. And that's it. There's your tier list, cheese. I just realized your name is Godly Chi and not Cheese. There's no S there. Why have I been calling you Cheese this whole time? Anyway, like and subscribe or whatever. Follow me on Twitter and everything. Agree with the list? Thank you, Cheese. So you Godly Chi, not Cheese? Why have I been calling you Cheese? Well, I'm gonna leave. Out of pure